Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome to another review. Up today it is the craziest yet also the coolest wagon that I have ever seen. What the devil is it then? Well, it's this, literally an entire blacksmith's workshop mounted onto a wagon. It's made by Bachmann, and I've tried to research these things in real life and I can find very, very little. 19th century, so 1800s, that's as I understand it, and it turns out maybe, possibly, they were used for maintenance of the way, so track maintenance. I can imagine these being used for breakdowns, maybe a wheel comes off a wagon, this thing gets sent out to make repairs on the job. Maybe they were used to help build the railways as well. You certainly didn't see anything like this over in the UK, or at least I haven't. So my theory would be that obviously in the UK, you're never very far from someplace. But of course that wasn't the case in America, where there are hundreds of miles of railroads, miles from anywhere. So I can kind of imagine why this would make sense in America. So this has an RRP on Bachmann's website of £45.50, but I actually ordered mine from Train World for $29.99, and if I look at the conversion, that comes out at £22, so around half price. And for such a cool and unique looking wagon, that doesn't seem too bad to me, particularly given some of the more recent prices. So let's take a look at this. Bachmann recommend running this with their 440 locomotives, and yeah, I can understand that because those are sort of 1800s as well. But we'll get to that later on. Let's open this up. Let's see what this thing is like. The travelling blacksmith railroad car. Unbelievable. So obviously I don't have to explain why I decided to buy this thing. It's pretty darn obvious. It's just wonderfully unique looking. I had to give it a try, and for just over 20 quid, it seems very, very good. Let me show you the end of the box then. This is the version I have. So it is an HO old-time Mao blacksmith car, Western and Atlantic Railroad, and it's item number 16402. And there are some bizarre details on the outside of the box, such as die-cast metal underframe. Well, that's good, that's a decent feature. But then you've got brass truss rods, die-cast truss rod supports, and Easy Mate Mark II couplers. Maybe in America, truss rods and such are really sought after marketable features, but have you ever heard anybody walk into a model shop and say, "Oh, excuse me, sir, does this railroad car have die-cast truss rod supports?" I've never heard it. Maybe that is something that all American people are excited about. Do comment down below if you have a point of view. But I'm actually really looking forward to this. I cannot wait to see what sort of detail this thing has got. I want to know what's inside the workshop bit, because you can't see from the outside of the box. So let's find out, shall we? It should be really, really interesting. I'm hoping that there'll be some paperwork, but you know, to explain what the thing's about, but there isn't. So that's that little dream spoilt, isn't it? Anyway, let's see if I can get this out. Is it taped? I think it might be taped. All right, because if it wasn't taped, then the model could escape in transit, and then it would be free. We can't have that. Come on, I really don't think this would have come apart in transit, folks. But we right. Is there any more tape? Nope, nope, we're in. Okay, here it is. Let's pull this thing out and see what we're dealing with here. So I'll show you the end that we've already seen through the front of the box first. And this is such a complex wagon, isn't it? It's not just a uniform sort of van or something. There's a lot going on with this. You can see on the deck here, there's barrels, there's sort of carts, planks of wood, tool chest it looks like. All right, let's flip it around then and see. Oh, wow. Wow. This is amazing. So you can see they've got the forge in the back there, and with a little chimney over the top of it to extract all of the smoke and that. There's a gigantic shovel about the size of a person, probably about the size of an HO person, yeah. Some very, very oversized tools in there, so I'm not convinced that that is to scale. A giant sweeping brush. Maybe it is, I'm not sure. Look at the roof, it's got like a tin roof on it. Wow, it looks really, really good, and it does indeed have a die-cast frame, and the wheels look quality and everything. yeah, for what I paid, this looks absolutely amazing. But I do want to show you this up close because I think there's more to see if we put the close-up lens on. So let's do that. And this, I'm sticking with my story. This is one of the coolest wagons I've ever seen. All right, let's have a look. So there it is. This is a close look at the Bachmann travelling blacksmith car. It's not the official name of the product, but I think it suits it pretty well. I can see them, folks. I can see them. The brass truss rods. Bachmann did it. They actually went there. Bachmann put on the brass truss rods they said they had, but here they are in front of my very eyes. They really did. And even better than that, I'm looking at the die-cast truss rod supports. The die-cast truss rod supports. Bachmann actually went all the way on this one. They went all the way. They bought a t-shirt and they stuck brass truss rods all over it. They really did. Aren't I a lucky boy? It's almost difficult to believe. But yeah, seriously, this is a really, really awesome wagon. I love it. It's really heavy, 70 grams, not ridiculously over heavy, but a pretty good weight for a wagon this size. That's more than 2 standard Hornby open wagons. And there's a lot to love about this. I mean, one of the finer details that you won't have already noticed is the sort of wood grain texture on all of the wooden parts. There's a proper sort of texture moulded into all of the different wooden plankings and everything. It looks absolutely amazing, it really does. And there's a lot of complex decoration on this car as well. You've got all of the printed detail, which is fairly standard and looks great. Although I do love the way the lettering sort of surrounds the supports of the roof and such, that's great. You've got the top of the roof, which again looks really, really great. That's a very, very convincing tin effect, isn't it, on there? With also some wooden panelling, and you've got the top of the chimney as well, and the sheet metal guard around it and everything. It's really, really cool. The interior is great as well. You've got the wooden planks. Again, look at the texture on those planks. Really, really nice. You've got the metal turning wheel here. Presumably that's for the brake. Little red barrel, beautifully painted. You've got the wood pile. Little cart with a wheel on there. Maybe that's what the blacksmith is repairing at the moment. What looks like a tool chest, a water bucket for hardening things, I'd think. There's a barrel. Maybe that's a barrel of oil. You've got what looks like a coal bunker for the fire, of course, complete with a gigantic shovel, which again is beautifully painted. Sweeping brush, look at that, really nice little sweeping brush. There's an anvil in there. I love the anvil in front of the forge there. And then the forge itself, of course, with the chimney and sort of smoke directing, catching thing on there. Ah, it's just really awesome, isn't it? What a lot of detail there is on here. And it's great quality as well. I mean, we buy so many expensive models these days that have scuffs in the paint and glue visible. Well, this is very, very complex, not only in the paintwork and decoration, but also in the sheer number of different painted and separately fitted parts. And there's no glue in sight. There's no paint that's gone askew. I mean, even the spade has 0 paint bleed on it. It looks absolutely awesome. And of course, it's quality as well from a die-cast chassis point of view, and that's what makes it so heavy. So I am thoroughly, thoroughly impressed with this. Not only is it quality and reasonably priced and super detailed, but it's also just super cool as well, isn't it? Let's be honest. This is a really cool wagon, and there are others. I think there's a crane maybe, there's other parts to this range. I'd love to try them, that's for sure. But for now, let's get this wagon onto the track. We'll do some rolling tests and we'll put it behind one of my old-timey American steamers and we'll see how it performs. So here is my test setup. As you can see, I've got the new blacksmith car and a few other wagons down onto the track. And Bachmann do recommend using the old-timey 440s with it, so I have set up mine. Mine's an old-fashioned one in model form as well, so not a great loco, but it is what Bachmann recommend. A selection of other different wagons, and of course we've got the new blacksmith car right here. So as for how freewheeling it is, it's not great, to be honest with you. The wheel gauge is absolutely fine and the wheels are good quality and such, but there does seem to be some drag in the axle boxes, because when I run it down Gordon's Hill, as you can see, it doesn't get very far at all. This is quite a heavy wagon, so momentum shouldn't be an issue. I suppose there are a lot of axles. I mean, we've got 4 axles causing drag, so that might be it. It could be the fact that the wagon is heavier at one end, but I did try the slope test with the wagon facing either direction, and it did go a bit further actually with the workshop bit facing the front. That could have been just by chance, or it could be some aerodynamic reason. I'm not entirely sure. But let's try getting it coupled and let's see how it performs as part of a train. Looks a bit like a brake van, doesn't it, or a caboose? Not very much, but it sort of is tempting to put it at the back of a train, but I don't think that's necessarily what you've got to do. Not a good crawler, this loco, by the way. As you can tell, I'm struggling. But it's all right at the higher speeds. Right, give it a shove. There we go. Did it couple? Okay, so that's a pretty good sign. It coupled immediately. And now let's take it around the layout at a sensible speed and let's see how it performs. Okay, on the curves. Tricky S-bend. Yeah, it's looking pretty solid so far. So I love this wagon. I really do think it's fantastic. Possibly my favourite ever wagon, actually, because it's just such a nice idea. And I just love what you could do with it in terms of modelling. You could put a blacksmith inside there, you could have a track maintenance day and bring the blacksmith and the track maintenance train, you know, out to a damaged section of track and then stage it being repaired, and you have the supplies coming on different trains and such. It's just, it gives you ideas, doesn't it? And when a piece of rolling stock, a simple piece of rolling stock, gives you modelling ideas and things that you can do on a layout to entertain people, then I think it really is worth having and worth giving some attention to. So, awesome. Yeah, what a great wagon from Bachmann. Let's have some ratings then for the old-time blacksmith car from Bachmann. Yeah, the level of detail, I can't fault. Really, I cannot fault it. So I've given it 5 stars. Yes, it's very complex in just the number of different components and parts that this thing has, but it's also got the brass trusses on the underside. Whew, I can't believe those. Lots of die-cast components, including the chassis. You've got the wood texture on parts, well, on most of the bodywork and such. Fantastic level of detail, but obviously all of the shovels and the forge and the barrels and that's really what makes it amazing. Performance is okay. I've given it 4 stars because it stays on the track. It's reasonably free rolling. I mean, it's not stopping my loco running along, and the gauge is fine and everything at 14.3 millimeters if anyone's interested. But it's not the most freewheeling wagon in the world, and we've seen wagons that are far freer than this. But not a huge issue, but can't give it 5 on performance, unfortunately. Quality, 5 star. This is the easiest 5 star I've given on quality for a long time. No glue, no paint bleed, high quality components, excellent assembly. That's all you could ask for, isn't it? 5 star on quality. Value for money, we've got 2 prices. As always, I take the RRP and the price I paid into account. I think the price I paid was very good at $29.99 or £22, although the RRP is slightly less reasonable at £45.50. I would give it 3 star for that, but 5 star for what I paid, so I'm happy to split the difference and give it 4 star overall. So that is a rating of 9.19 out of 10. That's an incredibly strong start. Again, not just in locos, but in rolling stock for Bachmann of 2022. Let's pop that into the logbook, which of course is starting afresh right now, today. And it is in top place currently. Like I say, a strong start, but maybe other wagons will come along this year which will be able to top it. There you have it then. What a cracking start to 2022 for rolling stock. Incidentally, I'm not sure when this wagon came out. I assume it's pretty new going on the level of detail, but it's certainly not a brand new release, I don't think. But it's one that I can highly recommend. I do think it's a bit pricey on the RRP, but if you can find this at a good discounted price like I did, then it's great. Really good value, can highly recommend it. I suppose it is a bit of a novelty, but it's the kind of novelty that you can get away with because it's not too outlandish, is it? It's not ridiculous. It's a very feasible thing that could have happened in real life and probably did. Even if it is just something that's been made up, and I'm not saying that it is, but it's not so ridiculous that it could never have happened. So I am a big fan of this. I hope you are as well, and I hope you liked seeing it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon with some more reviews. I'll try and find some awesome stuff like this to do in the future, and if you've got any recommendations of models and things you think I might like, then do comment them down below and let me know. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, everybody.